Palantir is up by nearly 50% over the last 1 month, and year to date it's done an incredible over 85%. Whereas if we look at the broader market like the S&P 500, over the last 1 month up by short of just 2%, and year to date about 9.6%. This means that Palantir has outperformed the S&P 500 approximately 9 times over. That is pretty insane. Obviously, that is just a short time period, but in today's video, I wanted to talk about some reasons as to why that has happened. Why has Palantir been doing so well? Why has it been able to not only do well, but beat the broader market by a substantial amount? And if you've been following this channel, you'll know that I do own Palantir. It's my second biggest position in my portfolio, and I do try and stay as up to date with the news as possible. The first reason is just that AI is mad right now. It's everywhere you look. Every single company, those massive companies, the smaller companies even, are in a bit of an artificial intelligence race right now. Everyone wants to have the next big artificial intelligence thing or product. Palantir are capitalizing on this perfectly because it's literally what they do. So when people started thinking and are still thinking, hey, I should really get myself some exposure to an AI company for this AI boom that we're seeing, a lot of people actually pile into Palantir. And of course, when investors buy the stock price goes up. And the second reason is just that it's gaining more exposure. As the stock does better, it's spoken about on more YouTube channels, it's covered by more news articles, people are reading about it, people are seeing it. And of course, that leads to more noise and more hype. And that means more FOMO and people wanting to get themselves a piece of this pie. And also we've seen big money getting involved now. Just the other day, the beginning of this week that I'm filming this, Cathie Wood, through her different ARK funds, I think 3 different funds, purchased hundreds of thousands of Palantir shares. And when that happens, it does 2 things. Firstly, it means that the stock price goes up because so many shares are being purchased in one go, but also it kind of gives the general public or retail investors, if you will, it gives them the hope that the inside knowledge, the inside scoop, know that something good is going to happen to this company. Of course, there's been many times that Cathie Wood and many other investors will pile money into something and actually they'll go to sell it a few months later, or it just won't be the best investment they've ever made. But it still gives that boost of confidence. And this isn't the first time that the ARK funds have had Palantir in them. This is a rebuy-in, if you will. Now, the third reason is probably one of the biggest right now as to why the stock price shot up when it did. If you look at the charts, there is a clear day that the price just started going crazy. And that was because of the amazing earnings report. And if you didn't know, companies will report their earnings every single quarter. And this time that Palantir was reporting their earnings, it was kind of a big deal. A lot of investors were very apprehensive and very excited about it because they believed that if it was good, it would really start changing the outcome of the company. And that's kind of what we've seen it do. To put simply, the results were way better than expected. The company generated a GAAP profitability for the second consecutive quarter, which is pretty big news. And now they just need to aim to remain profitable in every single quarter moving forward. The company is actually also operating and free cash flow positive, which again supports their aim for profitability. But another thing I want to point out here is, I've spoken about it before, but if they are able to achieve 2 more quarters of GAAP profitability, so they've got 2 already, if they can get 2 more, they may be included in the S&P 500 index, which is a pretty big deal. Think of those companies that are in the S&P 500. They are massive companies and the majority of them have seen massive success. And this means if they are included, this will do a couple of things. It will firstly bring a lot of institutional ownership and money into Palantir, which then should in theory raise the stock price further. And after this earnings report, I believe that people started seeing Palantir a little bit differently. I think there was a notion and a view of Palantir before the earnings that it was a little bit of a gamble. It was a little bit of an overhyped stock. You know, people didn't really believe it. They didn't really understand what the company did, and rightly so because it's so confusing. But they just thought that it was just one of those stocks that will maybe go up a little bit and then it will be gone and we'll all forget about it and we'll laugh that we invested in Palantir. But since the earnings, and more information has come out since then as well. I think people are just taking it more seriously. They're not really seeing it as an overhyped stock anymore. They're taking their time to learn about the business model and thinking whether that company will do well in the future. I speak to my Discord members every single day, and a lot of them invest into Palantir, and they're all starting to really believe in this company and doing their own research. So I think it is happening. I'm only seeing obviously people that comment on my channel and members I speak to in Discord every day, but it does seem to be happening. People are believing in this company more, and I think that is one of the reasons is down to the recent earnings. So going back to this whole AI boom that I spoke about as point one, I think also now companies specifically, so not the general public, but people operating businesses, companies are starting to want to utilize AI more in their business, because if other people are and other companies are, then they don't want to miss out, because then they might be left at the bottom of the pile. Their productivity might not be as good. Their output might not be as good. You know, all of these things. So people want to jump on right now. They don't want to miss out. This isn't just businesses. This is governments and organizations too. At the end of the day, a government is like a business. So if other governments are using AI technology and using whatever in terms of AI, other governments are going to want to do that as well. So who are these companies, these organizations, these governments turning to help them do this? Palantir. Palantir are positioned perfectly to help both enterprise and government clients integrate AI into their current systems. The fifth reason is the release of new products. There's been a lot of speak about their new AIP. Their new AIP allows commercial and government customers to basically use large language models for their own private data sets, basically. I did talk about this more in a recent Invest With Me video, but there's been a lot of new news about Palantir, including this new product release. And I think this is just going to increase sales and increase businesses that actually want to work with Palantir. And again, that causes the stock price to go up. And just retail investors get quite excited. Just using Amazon as an example, if Amazon were to suddenly release a new product, or Google, or whatever, Tesla, people would get hyped about that, and there would probably be a little bit of an increase in the stock price following. So I think the same thing's happening here. And also there is a massive TAM, total addressable market, for Palantir. I'm not going to spend a long time on this one because I have spoken about it a lot of times. Basically, the total addressable market is absolutely massive, and Palantir have only just started actually colonizing that total addressable market. And I think they are positioned perfectly to actually become the largest company in this sector. So what I'm trying to say is they've only just started. They are really small right now. They are going to get a lot more clients sign up, in my opinion, not financial advice. Obviously, I do believe in this company. I have them as my second largest holding. Do your own research. But they're going to get many more clients sign up to them. They are going to carry on with their amazing margins, which is fantastic for businesses, obviously. And I just think they're going to do really great things. This is not meant to be a Palantir video like this. I'm trying to tell you why they've done so well. The last one is that many companies will try and compete with Palantir, I'm sure. There are a few competitors right now, but not too many to worry about, I wouldn't say. But anyway, the point is that Palantir have been doing this for decades and decades. They understand AI, they understand data sets, they understand integrating AI into businesses. They have different areas of their business, their margins are low, all of these things. They've been doing it for a long time and they know what they're doing. And they're being led by the same leader that they were when they were founded. So I think that's quite a strong point as well. Now, I'm sure there are more reasons as to why Palantir have been doing well recently. If you want to add any, leave it in the comments below. If you want to see more Palantir content, do let me know in the comments. And also I'll leave a link in the description to the Patreon that I have, and you'll get access to the exclusive Discord on this, where we chat about my portfolio, everyone else's portfolios every single day, different stocks, different investment methods, personal finance, all that good stuff. Everyone over there is really, really great. So do come and join us if you want to. But I'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in another one very shortly.